Okay, so Lee and I were having a conversation. It is raining here in Ohio. We've got two dogs that are back there. You can't see them. We have just taken a hike in the rain. Yes, I'm wearing the same shirt I did yesterday, because that's what you do when you're a normal human being and not a podcast celebrity. So just goes to show you that we're normal people here. I woke up, I thought, I'm putting that shirt back on, going hiking. Okay, so I made a post yesterday that I think I read to you guys. I made it a while ago, and it showed up in my feed again, and I was like, dude, I think that this might be for somebody else that needs to hear this right now. And it's about predatory women that are homewreckers. So I'm going to read this to you real quick. It's not that long. I have known a few homewreckers in my life. All of them are females. Because I grew up seeing so many women who were abused by men, I generally view women as the victim. But Proverbs and Psalms shows us that is most certainly not always the case. Solomon, speaking from much experience, is constantly warning men to stay away from cunning, seductive women. What I woke up thinking about was the lives of the children that these, quote, home-wrecking women had and have no care for whatsoever. They didn't care that they were breaking up a family, and that if they had left those men alone, keep this in mind, this is key, if they had left those men alone, the children would not have grown up in single-parent homes, with all the heartbreak and the shame that entails. Some may argue that a man who would cheat would find a way to cheat no matter what, and that is true a lot of times, but not always. In all of the cases that I know, the men left their families, married the homewrecker, and stayed married. My own family has one such story. My Nana on my father's side was married with 4 children. When my grandpa's secretary wrecked his home, stole him away from his wife and 4 children, and the 2 stayed married for the rest of their lives. To my knowledge, he remained faithful to her. He didn't go around cheating. My family was not a strong Christian family to start with, so my grandpa and my Nana really had no defense against such an attack. However, I know of other stories, yes, more than one, where such a thing has happened within the church with pastors, leaders, and especially music ministers. I am not married, so this may sound odd coming from someone who isn't, but as someone who is married to Christ, I know that these things could have been prevented by wives and husbands who are aware of these types of dangers and go on the offense against them together. The Bible says in 1 Peter 5:8, be sober, be vigilant, for your adversary the devil walks around as a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. You have to put up boundaries in place for each other together, not to confine each other, but to protect out of love. You have to constantly build each other up in your most holy faith, hating the very garment spotted with sin. Homewreckers are out there. They probably don't even know that they are one until the deed is done. But even then, they deceive themselves into thinking that they have liberated that man because he wasn't happy or wasn't with his true love. This is simply not true. And a woman who is a homewrecker or a future homewrecker is simply the weakest type of woman, drawn away by the lust of her own flesh, seeking to please her own will instead of the will of God. As a wife or a husband, the fact should encourage you to see how easily you can go on the offensive to prevent this kind of fire from burning down your house. These, quote, silly women need to be brought to the saving knowledge of Christ, and a powerhouse, godly couple who steps out before any danger can lead such a woman to that before any hint of embers try to ignite. Do not get lax. If this sort of thing can happen to the couples I know, it can happen to anyone. The spouses were in shock in each instance and had no idea their spouse was capable of this kind of atrocity. You must hit the spiritual gym together in the word, prayer, and constant deep open communication, so you will be able to spoil the enemy's plan before it walks through the door. And I said, this is Michelle signing off from the Homewrecker Prevention Club. Join today. Can I get an amen from my married couples who are already doing this, building a moat with no bridge around their home and their family and their marriage, and filling it with floods of water daily? So I made that post 10 years ago. Now, the reason why I wanted to talk about it is because our friend Heather has a phenomenal story, and at some point we're going to get her and her husband on our show to talk about it. And she had made a comment on that post on my personal page sharing her story. And Heather, I would like for you, if you're watching, to take that same comment and put it on the one on the Resistance Chicks page, because Heather's story is a more common one where, you know, I was telling Lee, I was in the car, I was like, most of the people think, like I put in here, a cheater's going to cheat. If the cheater's going to cheat, he's going to cheat, man. If that man going to cheat on you, he just going to cheat. That's actually not true in all cases. It's true in some cases, but it's not true in all cases. So how do you spot the difference? First of all, what is the difference? There's the predatory woman who sees another woman's husband and wants that husband. And so she lays a trap and a snare to seduce him.
Want to just have an affair. She wants
the husband. So there's cheating, and then there's I want your husband. This is what was it the 12th commandment? Thou shalt not covet your neighbor's wife.
The
10th commandment is the last one. Whatever. The last one. It's the last one. Whatever it was. It's the last commandment. Isn't it the last one, or is that not lie?
I don't know.
I think it's the last commandment. Somebody can correct me on this. It doesn't matter what order they go in. I put the 12th commandment. Maybe there's two more you don't know.
Wife.
Don't covet your neighbor's wife. And what I have always said about that, everybody always wants to say that, like, oh, you're just not allowed to, like, think that your neighbor's wife is a good wife and wish that you had a wife like her. No, you're totally allowed to wish that you had a wife like your neighbor's wife. You are not allowed to wish that you had your neighbor's wife because that means that they don't have that wife. And the same thing goes for the husband. You cannot covet your neighbor's husband, because if you want that husband, then you're going to go and get that husband, and then your neighbor doesn't have her husband anymore. Okay, Augie, we had you tied in the back so that you couldn't get up front because you're muddy. How did we get there? How did that happen?
He's Houdini.
Are you Houdini? You're Houdini. So look how wet he is. You're not supposed to be back there. We're going to get one of those cop car things. Okay, so anyway, how do we spot these predatory women? How do you tell the difference when somebody is quote unquote cheating? Well, first I'm going to tell you how to spot them the easiest way, obviously after the deed is done. These women are just trying to steal a husband. They want that husband.
They want a life.
They want that life. They want the marriage. They want and maybe kids. They want the money. They want whatever it is that you have. They want it. The whole shebang. They want your life. Okay, so they're going to go out and try to steal your life. They don't want to have
sexual relations with your dude.
Exactly.
They want to wreck your home and put up their own home.
Right. So this is called thievery. This is close to murder. And this is the comment that I put back to Heather. This is a murderess in her heart. Okay.
They're very seductive, and they know how to.
They know how to trigger your husband. They know how to wile, and say all the things. They know how to trap him and keep him for the rest of her life. That's not this. So this is what I said to Leah, and this is why I popped on here doing this video. The answer, because the question was posed. On my post, what I don't understand is how these women who marry a married man, and I've had the same question myself, who marry a married man won't cheat on them because they obviously cheated on their wife. So I've had that thought. That actually only applies to, I can't put a percentage on it, but a percentage of the cases where that man definitely, you think to yourself, okay, the guy's been married 3 times, he cheated on his wife each time. You know what I mean? Those guys exist.
There's a lot of there are cheaters.
There's just cheaters.
Male cheaters out there. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not. The post was not designed to address
but
just
these
that.
Women, they actually target the steady, stable man.
Exactly,
and they want a steady, stable man. They just want your steady, stable man.
And this was the punchline that I'm doing the whole video to tell you this punchline. The woman that is the home wrecker, that is stealing your life and stealing your home, she has zero fear that she's ever going to lose that man. None whatsoever. And that's the punchline. Because she knows that what it would take is another seductress to come and find that man, and the odds of that are not very high. Okay? But even then, this woman, this predatory woman, this narcissistic woman will pull out all the stops and do everything. She's already got her hooks in this dude. Because she's got her hooks in a dude that is hookable. The man that's going to just cheat, he's not hookable. Here's the thing. He's more predatory than he is prey. And so he can't be trapped really by one of these predatory women. These men that get trapped by these predatory women, when I say they were never going to leave their wives, they were never going to leave their wives until this woman showed up. Does that take all the responsibility off of the man? No, not at all. Dude's got responsibility. He's a human. He literally should have had, like I mentioned in my post, all of these safeguards in place. Okay? Dude's responsible. I'm not ever going to take away the responsibility, but the fact of the matter remains is if you have a husband that you lost to another woman that calculatingly stole your husband from you, your husband was not going to ever leave you until she came along. If she had never come along, your husband was not going to leave you. Now, that does not apply to every situation.
His heart was probably wandering. There was an open door there.
Okay, so there you go. There's an open door, but I think in most of these cases, these men were not going to leave their wives, but they did have an open door. Maybe it was pornography, right? Which is all.
Predatory women find a certain.
They find a weakness. They find a man. Leah's right. They find a man with a weakness that's there, but that doesn't mean that another predatory woman was going to find him. It was going to take a predatory woman that was going to. That was going to end up taking him away, if that makes any sense. He was not going to just go out and seek it. Now, I'm not saying that this applies to all affairs and men at all. I'm talking about, and I want to bring it back to, you guys know that we have talked about Mike Bickle and all of these predatory pastors, right, on our Bad Pastors series. So one of the things that, like, the Rick Joyners and just different people that have defended these guys have tried to say that it was just predatory women that came after these men. Here's why that doesn't fly. Because these men are habitual cheaters. They are habitual manipulators. They do this habitually. That's not, when you do it habitually, that doesn't make you the victim of a predatory woman. So Mike Bickle is the predator, and this is what I've said on the show, and I will say it again. When you are a predator, women throwing themselves at you does not satiate you. Predators are only satiated by those that they have to ensnare and entrap. They want the innocent. They want the guiltless. They want the one that's hard to get.
I will say, though, that in all the relationships that I've known where the woman has stolen the man, that the wife that he's married to, she was snaggy and controlling, and so this woman comes in to fill the need.
Yeah, and says, I understand it better, which is what I said in my post. This woman convinces him and herself that she just liberated him from a bad marriage, and
so she knows what he wants is love and encouragement.
So she's going to give him.
She's going to do it, even though she doesn't mean it.
Right. So all of your weaknesses that you did have towards your husband, even though you loved him, all of those weaknesses, she is going to never do those. Ever. Probably for the whole of their marriage. She's never going to do those things that you had weaknesses in, that were based in who knows what, right? I'm not adding fault or reducing fault to the situations at all.
Well, she might do it, but she'll learn to, like our own situation.
Leah doesn't want to be on camera, right?
With our grandma, with our Nana. Our Nana used to mock my grandfather. He was a sharecropper, a farmer. He came over from Sweden. And she used to, from the stories that we've been told, she used to mock him and make fun of him, and it really bruised his ego. Yeah. So my mama, my other grandma, who was his young secretary, praised him and saw a genius in him, really. Right. And he is a genius. He was a genius. And she praised him and said, you're going to do this, you're going to do this, you're going to do this. But then as he got, they got married, she became vindictive and would yell at him and say, you promised me my great big house, and you're going to build me my house, and you're going to do this. But you're right. I don't think she ever went the route of you're not a genius,
Right.
you know. But that my
point is that these women know what they're doing. That's it. It boils down to just that. They know what they're doing. And so just like we've covered on our Healing for the Fractured Soul series, whether it's narcissism, sociopathy, psychopathy, you know, schizophrenia, whatever it is, all of these things overlap. And so no, and I believe, and I don't mind telling you this, I don't mind turning it a little bit political, Erica Kirk. Charlie just wasn't married. She saw what she wanted. She went after it and got it. That's it. And these women know what these men want to hear, and sometimes they break a little. Sometimes they're not able to hold the face. But as soon as they start to lose their control over that person, they slip right back into super control or super manipulation, praise. Oh, you're just the greatest, and that's what they do. And so, and I can prove to you on the Erica Kirk thing, because if you watched Candace is also a whole nother bag of mixed nuts. Okay. They both are, by the way. But Candace came out of that meeting with Erica, and she's like, and Erica even told me that the reason why she didn't tell me to stop early on is because she was watching my show and she was actually learning stuff. And I, full stop, went to Leah and I was like, oh, Candace. Erica just played you like a fiddle. This is what Erica did. Erica did it just that same way. Candace, the reason why I didn't tell you to stop in the beginning is because I was watching your show and I was learning things from you. Like, I was learning from you. And all that did was to stroke. Aren't we taking him home? Mm-hmm. Oh, we're not?
No.
Where are we going to put him?
It'll be fine.
She said 2 o'clock.
She said 3.
She said 2.
3:15.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway.
You can finish your video.
Erica knows how to play and watch those people. You know, honestly, if I'm going to praise you, it's going to be over something that's legit. Okay, and I will praise you for that. Okay, and you guys know that I do that. I find things in people and I'm like, dude, that's awesome, and I will call it out and I'll praise it all day long, and we should do that. But you got to watch those people that all they do is praise you, and they find the thing that you want to hear. If somebody is always telling you the thing you want to hear, and they don't ever go like, I don't know, I don't think that that's exactly right, watch it. Watch those people. Like, you might be finding yourself around a manipulative narcissist. So how do we spot these predatory women? That's one of the biggest keys. They're always praising you. In the beginning, they make it all about you. Now, this actually applies to the narcissistic predatory men, but today we're talking about the women. But you can apply this to the narcissistic predatory men as well. They will make it all about you, and they will listen to you, and oh, really? Oh, wow. And then it's like, no one has ever understood me like this before. And so that's how these men get drawn in, because their wives, quote unquote, don't understand them like this. And this woman understands you to the point where she can play you like a fiddle, and that's not the kind of understanding that you want. You sure you don't want to be on camera?
No, but it's the same thing that men do to women.
That's what you said.
They understand you. I understand
right.
you.
So the women do the same thing. But the reason why I wanted to emphasize this post was that I don't think that it used to be you would talk about predatory, seductive women all the time. But in the age
Marilyn Monroe, anybody?
In the age of, Mr. President, of the women's movement, whatever this is that we're living in, you're not allowed to say that there are seductive, predatory women anymore. So I just wanted to highlight that, because they still exist, and they're still wrecking homes, and they're still seducing men. And so you spot them as a husband. You need to put your guard up. First of all, your guard needs to be like super, super up. You need to be praying with your wife. You need to be reading the Bible with your wife. You need to make sure that if you have a porn addiction, you need to be in help for that. Okay? Like, you need to have a stupid phone, like all those things, right? But at the same time, you need to be able to identify these women that come. And like I saw with this Erica Kirk, the way that she did that JD Vance thing on the back of his head.
Oh my God.
I was like, she's looking for her another husband.
She's just stroking the back of his neck. She's making it.
They do that. They touch you.
Women don't grab the back of the neck of other men. That's a very intimate.
No. don't know. So they are very easy to spot. And here's the thing. For us women, they're really easy for us to spot too. We just stay away from them. They are the women that say this, and be careful. Be careful if you ever hear a woman say this. I just don't know how to have girlfriends, because like every time like I try to be friends with a girl, they just like they don't like me. They get jealous of me, and I don't know why. I've heard them say this. If you have a female out there that says stuff like that, run as far away from that situation and that person as you possibly can. When she says she can just only have guy friends, and maybe you're that person that's watching this and you're like, but I've really only ever been able to have guy friends.
That's because you only connect at a certain level.
That exactly. And it's not because women are jealous of you. It's because you are putting something off that is not right.
It's like a pheromone.
And not just a pheromone. They know what you do to men. You manipulate them.
You might not even know it.
You don't even know that you do it. You don't even know that you do it. Please wake up to this, okay? Women that cannot have other women as their friends because for quote unquote some reason women don't like me. There's a reason. And you need Jesus, and you need to seek help, and you need to ask those around you. Dude, I need you, not those around you. Nope. You need to find a counselor. You need to find a therapist and be like, please shoot it straight. This is my life. This is my relationship. They're all my dude friends. I just connect with guys better. No, you got some issues, girlfriend. Samantha, hi Sam, says, if I saw a woman touch the back of my husband's neck, Lord help us all. I'm getting mad just thinking about it. Right? Right? Okay, I know all y'all wanted to just like slap her. And then we're all supposed to like support her. I don't support Candace. I don't support Erica. All y'all are a mixed bag of nuts and crazy land. But I will use you as examples because you're very, very helpful. That's all I have to say about that. Leah and I want to end with this. We did not do a Revelation Red Pill last night. I'm not going to put too much on this from a under promise, over deliver. But I am asking you guys for prayer, because what we have uncovered, and if you have been tuning into Healing for the Fractured Soul for say the last 2 or 3 weeks, that is going to be the calling that Leah and I are about to walk into. I don't know what it looks like. I don't even know how we're going to do it. I have no idea. Please give us some space. I know a lot of you guys, when I made that post the other day, all of you rushed and like, how can I help? Because I get it, because it's a lot. When we need help, we'll reach out. I promise. We're not ready to do anything with it yet. We have tapped into something that I believe affects all of us. We all have family members that have mental afflictions, and we don't know how to handle them, and we don't know how to move forward with it, and we don't even know what it is. We have uncovered a lot of what it is, and we are uncovering it to a level that is so full of the Holy Spirit, it makes all the sense in the world. So when I throw out these terms, narcissism, schizophrenia, borderline personality, multiple personality, dissociative identity, sociopath, all these things, understand that a lot of them cross over. A lot of them are mixed. There's no just one title fits all, and we all, to varying degrees, have issues. And when you can understand that we all have, like, all the things about yourself that you don't like, there really is probably an explanation for it. And we're going to get to the bottom of it, and we're going to get some help, and we're going to address it with all sides. We're going to address it spiritually. We're going to address it with inner healing. We're going to address it demonically, if you need deliverance, which that's not as paramount in all of this as you would think, but it is definitely there. We're going to address it mentally, and we're going to address it physiologically, which means nutritionally and with supplements and all the things. I don't know what this looks like. I don't know if it looks like conferences that Leah and I do, or Zoom conferences that we do. I don't know what it looks, or I've got Leah writing a book, or just more healing for the fractured souls, which obviously that will happen. I don't know what all it looks like.